Door app is like telehealth for your home. Whether it's checking out our tips library or video chatting with our experts right on the Front Door app, it is the one thing you need for all your home repair and maintenance needs.
Download Front Door through the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, or visit frontdoor.com.
Get ready for a heartwarming experience with Legacy Plumbing and Heating. At Legacy, our mission is simple: to provide the best plumbing and heating experience in town, while also being dedicated to serving our community.
You can make a difference today by nominating a family in need for a brand new furnace thanks to Legacy Plumbing and Heating with the Warm Heart, Warm Home Initiative. Visit WDAYradionow.com today and nominate someone in need.
Remember, life flows better with Legacy. Join us in spreading warmth and love this season of giving.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
An air duct. Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down!
Yeah, welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us today. It's Thursday at 1:06 right now in the afternoon. And temperatures flirting with records. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm alongside Ag Director Bridgette Readel. Bridgette, how are you doing today?
I am in Grand Forks.
Like,
so
again,
I can't
really?
tell you. Yeah, and so it says 30 degrees on my pickup. Is that accurate? What does the weather service say here?
I don't know. Why don't we take a quick look? I mean, it's 45 right now here in Fargo. And up in Grand Forks, it says 35. So your truck's a little cold.
I guess I should get this thing to warm up slightly.
Yeah, maybe park outside of the shade, getting that sunshine. Man, it is refreshing to have blue skies and sunshine.
Things are melting all around here.
Yes.
Oh, it looks awesome. I think highways are open. People are feeling really good about travel right now. Is it going to continue?
Well, for today it will, yeah, of course. Traffic will always be flowing. Oh, you mean the road conditions? Are they going to stay good?
Right.
Yeah, well, for today, yes. Tonight, I mean, technically, yes, but we're going to watch for fog developing tonight, so that's going to be a hindrance a little bit on visibility. And then tomorrow, there's a little minor disturbance coming through, brings us a chance for some rain and snow. So here's your forecast over the rest of this week and into our upcoming weekend. We're looking at temperatures at 45 degrees right now, again, here in Fargo. The record is 48 degrees, set back in 1998. Or at least tying that record today, if not breaking it. I'm forecasting a high just about 50 degrees here in Fargo. South winds about 10 to 25 miles an hour at times, and then those winds will lighten up throughout this evening. And we'll go fairly light, around 5 to 10 for out tonight. There will be a slight chance for a couple of sprinkles, mainly over in Lakes Country. Otherwise, it's just cloudy with a low temperature near 33 degrees. Get this, Bridgette. Our average daytime high is 24. Our overnight low is 33.
Well, this is amazing.
We're 10 degrees warmer tonight than our average daytime high. What a treat for the middle of December.
It has been. It really has been. And I know that might get to be a little bit different tomorrow night, but it's probably going to be fairly short-lived on the long term, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, never mind.
It's staying warm with a few days here or there that are closer to average, but even then, still above. So lows down tonight, 33. Areas of some fog, some patchy, dense fog. Tomorrow, it's mainly cloudy to partly sunny. There'll be a few scattered rain showers throughout the afternoon with a high near 41 degrees. Likely some fog lingering around the area into the afternoon as well for tomorrow. I don't think it'll be all-day fog, but half of the day there may be some areas that receive that. And then we'll watch for those scattered showers, which will mainly align along the I-94 corridor eastward into Minnesota throughout Friday evening, mixing in and turning over to snow into Friday night as it works its way southeasterly. This will bring us a chance of around an inch of accumulating snow here in Fargo. Higher amounts possible as you go south and eastward over into Minnesota. Again, upwards of 2, maybe 3. I'm not really sold on those higher amounts yet, but they are possible, so we'll keep an eye on that. I don't think it's going to be a huge implication on traffic. Some minor slushy accumulations on some of the main roads. Some minor snow accumulation or packed snow on some of the side roads. It'll melt off fairly quickly as we head into our weekend. More clouds on Saturday, mid-30s on Sunday, more sunshine. Minor disturbance possible. Sunday night could bring another little light burst of snow, but that's not accumulating snow, just some flurries. And then Monday will be our coldest day out of next week in the mid to upper 20s before we're stuck in the mid to upper 30s. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even Saturday of next week looks like we'll still be flirting near 40 degrees. So pretty nice weather all the way through that week.
I am just feeling good about this right now. Really can't complain. Although I realize, we're always concerned about what's moisture going to do in this region. So far, we'll see how it goes. We're still anticipating more snowfall at certain points during the winter months. Hopefully we get those timely rains next spring. That's a topic of conversation that many farmers wanted to have today here at the Prairie Grains Conference in Grand Forks. And we'll just see how it shakes out. But there's no doubt we're actually enjoying a year where if you've got to haul grain, you're not shoveling all of your bins out. You're not standing in 14 layers of coveralls because it's so cold. So it does really make for a better time right now. It's been nice.
It'd be a fun thing for folks to call in and tell us about using the Red Wing Shoes phone line 701-293-9000. With the warmer temperatures and limited snowfall throughout this fall and now into almost winter, technically, the middle of December, what have you been doing or have been able to do that you weren't able to do last year because of all the snow and the cold? What are you still doing in December that you usually are not, or at least that is a lot easier to do than in past years? Again, the phone number for our studios, the Red Wing Shoes phone line is 701-293-9000. And Bridgette, I see you have a friend again with you today.
I do. I was going to make sure to point out that my travel companion is still right here. Again, this is this way to the camera, Northern Cass Jaguars. They are the local high school to where I live, and they asked me to take a Jaguar to work with me this week so we could show off the things that I do on a daily basis. So this Jaguar and I have been hanging out at the Prairie Grains Conference here in Grand Forks. He's made lots of friends. I'll be able to post pictures of what we've been doing, some of the meetings we've been sitting in on, and probably one of the favorites, Justin, I know you would have enjoyed this, was talking small grains, particularly barley, with the North Dakota Brewers Guild.
Oh, won't that be fun?
It was great.
Samples.
While
you're in a car,
there's
you can
one
say
in,
no, say no.
It's closed.
Just blink
it's in
twice, but say no if you have samples.
It's in my bag. It's still closed. It was a brew from Laughing Sun Brewery, and I could get to it, but there's going to need to be some gymnastics for me to reach behind me to get this beer. That's closed, so I can show it off.
Sealed.
Totally sealed. And thank you to listeners who stopped to shake hands and say hello. So much fun to meet those of you. Yesterday I met Keith. He's a listener with us. Today I've talked to several folks that listen, and just thank you for always being able to make Weather and Ag in Focus part of your day. We appreciate that.
And if you are a regular listener, you would have noticed by now that we're missing our mascot. I mean, our third. Dean Wysocki is not with us this afternoon. As of now, he probably won't be with us, but there's a chance. He had a dentist appointment, and his appointment is running long. So whether that's good or bad news, I'm not sure.
Do you think that if he shows up with a mouthful of Novocaine, it will be good or bad on how he does the forecast? Any changes? Any whatsoever?
It's going to be terrible.
Your vote of confidence.
So he
was not strong.
He sent me a picture earlier, Bridgette. I know we got ag
of his
topics
mouth?
to get to, but I want to hit this. No, he sent me a message and he's like, I'm still at the dentist, and it was just before our show started. I'm like, yeah, you're at the dentist still. Send me a picture. So he sends me a picture, and I'm like, I ain't buying it. You took that while you were there. Send me a picture of the clock on the wall right now. Well, he never sent me that picture of the clock on the wall, so I'm pretty sure he's still at the dentist. I just like to poke fun at him.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it's the most relaxing part of your day. Go to the dentist, take a little nap, wait for them to do stuff. And I might be the weird one, but honestly, going to the dentist doesn't bother me. I'm okay with it.
It doesn't bother me either. Everyone's all like, I can't stand the noise, the drill, the vibration. I'm just like, I don't know. It doesn't bother me at all. Like, yeah, you're drilling in my tooth, but I guess I'm okay with you drilling into my teeth, I guess. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I know I'll feel better in the end, so just take it and go. You'll be fine.
Indeed. So, again, if you want to call in with things that you're able to do this far into December that you were having difficulty or weren't able to do last year because of cold and snow. Again, Red Wing Shoes phone line 701-293-9000. Coming up on the program throughout this afternoon, we got a few ag topics that we're going to be getting to. One of them is the Minnesota Cattlemen's Annual Convention is going to be going on, as well as Calf Deck's record keeping goes mobile. And get the most out of your hay this winter. So we got a few fun topics we're going to get to as well. Our guests this afternoon that'll be coming up in our 120 segment here in just about 5 minutes from now is going to be Zach Spilker and Bill McBee. They're North Dakota soy processors. So if you want to join in on that conversation, feel free to call in our next segment and to ask Nick and Bill some questions. And let's see.
I really want to dive in. Okay, so with Zach and Bill joining us here at 120, what's going to be important about that, I think, is the fact that these guys are with the North Dakota Soy Processors. This is the crush plant at Castleton. So inquiring minds want to know, you might say. Yes. Are they up and running? When are they going to take soybeans? How do farmers get involved in this project? So I think it's time to ask some of those types of questions. And I really look forward to hearing what they say.
Maybe we can cut a deal with them for our soybeans. We'll give them a great deal, $14 a bushel. We'll just call it good. No, $15.
I have no
$15. Don't lowball
15.
I know what I got.
Always start high.
I know what I got. I got grade A beans.
I have no problem with us asking those types of things. Now, doesn't mean it's all going to work in our favor, but we got to start negotiating somewhere.
Indeed, we do. So, should we hit one topic really quick and then head on over to the American Ag Network, Bridgette?
I would be happy to. So, first of all, let's talk about your hay. Because this time of the year, we haven't necessarily had to feed a lot of hay yet. Only if you have low snowfall and you're doing some winter grazing, maybe you've got them out on corn stalks or something like that, your livestock, particularly cattle. Now, for hay, if you need to be feeding, there's some things to keep in mind. And I have a math sort of equation for you, Justin. I want you to think this through. If you look at a 6-foot round bale, okay, diameter is 6 feet. The outer 6 inches of that bale is 25% of the hay in the bale. Cool, huh?
Indeed it is.
That's very cool. Okay, so that's 25% of your hay. So if you aren't protecting it, if you're not stacking the hay so that it sheds water or keeping snow off of it, maybe you have it in a hay shed where it's underneath a roof, you could be losing 25% of your hay bale to spoilage. Net wrap can help shed more of that moisture that could be detrimental to the hay, and that's better than if you were using twine or a plastic string. Also, make sure you feed your outside stored hay first, of course. I think growers tend to know that. And in general, cattle waste about 25% of each bale fed in a round bale feeder if they have unlimited access for 24 hours. So it just means that they go in there, they pull hay off, they eat some, they stand on it, they do other things while they're standing on it. And so, wanting to make sure that your hay is taken care of because you want to feed the best quality at all times. Those are just a couple of things that folks maybe didn't know, especially those who don't feed livestock. Those are what goes through the mind of a producer as they're thinking about what they're going to feed and how they're going to do it.
Good
just some
tips
ideas
there, Bridgette. Never thought about it that way.
There you go. And now we can do hay bale math.
Yes, we can. Well, after the American Ag Network, we'll come back with Zach Spilker as well as Bill McBee, again, North Dakota Soybean Processors. And you said they're from the Castleton plant, right there, Bridgette?
Yes, sir. They are.
So if you got questions for either Zach, Bill, or us, give us a call. Red Wing Shoes phone line, 701-293-9000. I got 4 open lines now if you want to get queued up before our next segment. We'll be back here in just a few moments right after the American Ag Network.
Livestock's higher, hogs leading the way. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risvet with this market update. Live cattle futures are holding light to moderate gains despite strong triple-digit support seen in feeder cattle trade. The underlying focus on long-term market support and the potential to draw non-commercial traders back into the market over the coming months is keeping traders generally positive. Weekly export sales posted net sales of 10,600 metric tons for 23. They were up noticeably from the previous week and up 67% from the prior 4-week average. Increases were primarily for South Korea, Japan, Mexico, China, and Canada. Net sales of 5,100 metric tons for 24, primarily for Japan, South Korea, Canada, Mexico, and Chile, were offset by reductions for China. Exports of 14,500 metric tons were up 5% from the previous week and from the prior 4-week average. Cash cattle activity trade is still at a standstill, despite the light trade seen midweek that sold generally $3 lower than last week. More trade is expected before the end of the week. Additional trade may be pushed off until tomorrow. Box beef prices are mixed. Choice down 63 and select up 8 cents with a movement of 77 loads. Now the lean hog futures, they've rallied higher as active buyer support moves into the complex. The combination of strong outside market support as well as positive export market direction in the weekly report has helped to spark aggressive gains across all nearby lean hog contracts. We'll get a look at the livestock numbers next. You're listening to the American Ag Network.
Give your soybeans an obvious advantage with Lalfix Pro Yield Liquid Soybean from Lalman Plant Care. Its exclusive formulation amplifies nitrogen fixation. That means a greener, higher yielding soybean crop and enhanced ROI. The single bladder means there's no mixing, and the available collapsible cube simplifies shipping. It's the inoculant with a difference you can see. Contact your Lalman sales representative today.
Little moments get bigger. Kids grow a little taller. Families closer. Yeah, life's different when you carry Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Dakota. Shop plans now and enroll at bcbsnd.com/shop. Find individual and family health plans with more doctors to choose from than any other plan. It's coverage for where life takes you. Coverage, confidence, carry on.
Let's get a look at the livestock numbers. Live cattle December up 35 at 167.30. February up 52 at 167.75. April up 45 at 171.40. And the June live cattle, they're up 50 at 168.77. Feeders January up 217 at 219.55. March up 247 at 220.32. Lean hogs December down 77 at 67.15. February up 375 at 70.47. And the April lean hogs, they're up 270 at 77.07. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And thanks for joining us. Here we are, Weather and Ag in Focus with in-studio guests today. Oh, but before we get to them, don't forget, if you have not yet gone out and done your nomination for a family who needs to receive a furnace this holiday season, please do so on our website. You can reach us by going to our website for the Warm Heart, Warm Home promotion that we're doing with Legacy Plumbing. Now, this needs to be someone who is in Cass or Clay County, but give that nomination for someone in need of a new furnace. Make sure that you do it soon because nominations will close on Friday, and on Monday, our winner will be announced on Bonnie and Friends. So if you think of anybody, Justin, get on in there quick. Need to get that done.
I'm going to do that right now.
Well, you do that while we have a chance to visit with our guests. So today we have joining us two gentlemen from North Dakota Soy Processors, and I am very much looking forward to hearing all the things they have to share. That would be Zach and Bill. Gentlemen, hello. How are you today?
Good afternoon. We're doing good.
Good.
That's awesome. Well, let's kick this off with Bill. Zach, what do you do for North Dakota Soy Processors? Tell us more.
Okay. My name is Bill McBee, and I'm the commercial manager for North Dakota Soybean Processors, which basically means I'll be in charge of making sure we have product coming into the plant and then having which be soybeans, and then the soybean meal and soybean oil getting sold on the back, on the outside, and then also the hedging involved in that process. Zach?
Nope. Yeah, so Zach Spilker, I'll be, kind of head merchandiser here, so in charge of all the bean procurement for the plant. So we'll be crushing 125,000 beans a day, so got to make sure we have beans to run the plant.
Okay, before we start negotiating with you for our beans, we're curious, where do things stand right now in the plant as far as construction and so forth? What's happening?
So last August, we broke ground, and so we're about halfway into the building process, a little over halfway. If you drive by out there, you can see the shell of the buildings are mostly up, but it's kind of like when you build a house. Once you get the frame up, you got a lot of work to do on the inside, And that's kind of where we're at. There's a lot of work on the inside to be done yet. So we're looking at somewhere around late summer next year that we'll be starting up.
So are you on time, on track? How is that going in your construction process?
Yeah, we're on schedule. The winter or the weather here the last few months has really helped out a lot on that. And so we still got a lot of moving pieces to go, and there's things that can happen along the way, but we're optimistic that we're going to stay on schedule. Yes.
Well, I hear just a little bit of a southern tilt to both your voices. So is this your first winter in North Dakota, and are you happy with the weather for this construction project?
Yeah, definitely. First winter up here. Bill's from Indiana. I'm from northeast Missouri. So we do get snow down there and a little bit of winter, just not quite like up here. So
the weather's been pretty good here. I don't know what people are talking about. It's I made it up enough times last year to know what a Fargo winter is like. So
I bet you didn't make it as many. Yeah, I don't think they made it as many times as you planned to get up here last year, Bill, due to the weather.
That is correct. Yes.
So what's the importance of this this plant? Someone who's not involved in agriculture, what does this mean for the area? What's the significance of this plant going up over in Castleton?
Well, so there's a lot of soybeans raised in the North Dakota, and especially in this eastern side of North Dakota. Mm-hmm. And previously, all those beans would be exported, or a majority of those beans would be exported off the West Coast. And so by building this crush plant here in Castleton, those beans will stay here and be further processed, and then we'll be selling the products. So it should be a much better market for the farmers for their soybeans. Also, it'll give them a year-round market, where we'll be crushing 12 months out of the year, and so we'll be needing them all year round.
Okay. And then how many, I would imagine this is going to create a good amount of job openings to run this plant. Well, how many job openings are needed to run this facility?
So we'll be right around close to 75 employees total between the office, merchandising staff, operations. So we have our main managerial positions in place. So starting off with an absolutely fantastic team. Credit to the board and HR for putting that together for us. So yeah, we got a lot of hiring left to do. Most of that will take place next spring, and we'll be posting job openings on ndsoy.com. Going into the spring.
Right on. And then another one, when it comes to bringing the soybeans in, is this, I don't know how this works because I'm not really involved in agriculture a whole lot, really at all, besides 20 acres of beans I helped farm last summer. But are you going to be doing contracts or to get these beans to come in with some of the farmers around the area, or how are you going to make sure that you're able to get the amount of beans that you need into the plant?
Yeah, certainly. So we'll be offering a whole host of contracts, all of the contracts that the normal grain elevators do. So we're owned 75% by Consolidated Grain and Barge, which is primarily a grain company, and 25% by Minnesota Soybean Processors. So very familiar with customer service aspect and all the contracting options we need to offer. So spot delivery contracts, Ford contracts, Ford cash, futures contracts, delayed price, options-based market solutions contracts for all different delivery periods. Like Bill said, we're going to be crushing 12 months out of the year, roughly 100,000 acres a month. So it's going to be a massive amount of beans coming into the facility.
Right, I would imagine so. And when it comes to these contracts, when you're offering them at the time of the year to get people to sign up, is it just going to kind of be based on what current market rates are for the beans, or is there going to be a little extra incentive there to choose you over, say, another elevator somewhere else or wherever people are sending their beans right now?
Yeah, it'll kind of depend. So we're going to crush 125,000 bushels a day. So we have to have the beans to run right. So we got to do whatever it takes to incentivize beans to come to us. So if we get all bought up for 1 month, say harvest delivery, we have all we can take for that month. Maybe we're a slight discount to the local market during that month, but in January, we might be paying a good premium, especially out into the summer whenever we have to pull beans from really far away to keep the plant running.
We use the Chicago Board of Trade to base, the bean price off of, and then a basis off of that. Yep. And so a lot of times in the summer or in the fall, the basis gets really low around here. And so we'll hopefully be, because of the volume of beans that we'll need, we'll make that basis a little bit stronger than what they're used to.
Right. And then I got one more here before we run into the bottom of the hour news break. But any thoughts or things that have come across the mind, like what if we can't get enough beans into the plant? You're talking about doing such a large number of soybeans on a daily and even monthly basis. Do you think that additional demand here in the Fargo area and, around Castleton, North Dakota, South Dakota, wherever these beans are exactly all coming from, do you think there's enough surplus to fill that demand, or do you think people are going to switch more into beans to fill that increased demand?
Currently, they're producing 200 million bushels in North Dakota.
Okay.
So between the other crush plant that ADM's building and ours, we're going to use close to 90 million bushels. So that's a big chunk of that they'll need to stay. But they'll also draw from Minnesota. And so the biggest thing that we're concerned about is the beans are around here, but making sure they don't leave and get, working with people to get them to store beans. So I want to give a quick shout out to, we have a ag finance division that's actually working with the Sukup bin manufacturers to help producers to either build or lease bins. Because I think there's going to be really good opportunities for farmers that put some money into bins and storing beans.
Sure, yeah. And we got to catch up with bottom of the hour news, but you said, across North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. What is the range of this plant? Where are beans going to be coming from? I imagine, it's not just 45 miles from the plant in either direction.
Yeah, so Cass County raises about 20 million bushels of beans, close to it. So during harvest, we'll probably be, very local. Within, kind of Cass County area, maybe the surrounding counties. But then once we get out into the deferred months, likely all the way to the South Dakota border, well into Minnesota, and then all the way up to the Canadian border as well.
You just figure about 100-mile radius for a crush plant. And
cool.
Depends on what size of crop there is each year.
Yeah, I suppose it would.
Yeah, smaller crop, you might have to stretch a little bit further. Yep.
All right, well, if you have a question for Bill or for Zach, give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. Emails to the program are weather or ag@flagfamily.com, as well as those chat boxes over there on Facebook and YouTube Live. We're going to get caught up with local news, and when we come back, we'll rejoin this conversation, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Ashley, owner of the Aspire Optical Company. As we close out 2023, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for your continued support and trust with all your vision care needs. It's in this spirit that we provide a relaxed yet professional atmosphere for our clients, where finding that perfect pair of eyewear is a truly enjoyable experience. This month, shop with us and take 50% off your frame with lens purchase. Perfect for those with HSA and FSA benefits. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the entire Aspire Optical family. Aspire Optical, eyewear like you've never seen.
Bonjour! Let Reed Event Center at Reese & Riley's Olive Oil and Bistro Bar in Moorhead host your next party, reunion, or corporate gathering, featuring an exquisite Mediterranean culinary experience with local ingredients and fresh handmade pasta, including gluten-free options. Casual or formal, Reed Event Center offers a unique and sophisticated experience. For bookings, call Reed Event Center at 218-303-1279 or visit reeseandrileys.com. Bon appetit!
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker. WDAY News First. Officials with Moorhead Area Public Schools say a Moorhead High School student is in custody after posting an image of a weapon on social media. The school district notified parents in an email Wednesday night. School administrators say they learned a photo of a weapon was circulating on social media and quickly identified a suspect. The student was removed from the school and taken into custody. A somber day in Beulah as family members, friends, and colleagues gathered Wednesday for the funeral of Deputy Paul Martin. He died earlier this month during a police chase involving Ian Kramer, the son of North Dakota Senator Kevin Kramer. The funeral was held at Beulah High School and was followed by a 2-mile procession through town. A North Dakota legislative committee is planning to hold a public hearing to get input on a new redistricting map. This comes after a federal court ordered the state to create and approve a new map by December 22nd. The meeting will be held in Bismarck, though a date has not been set. And the Minnesota Department of Health is warning of certain cannabis products having potencies exceeding legal limits. Investigators have found illegal high-dose derived products in nearly 40% of establishments. We're told retailers found selling illegal doses will be fined up to $10,000. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
Rev up your holiday spirit at Luther Family Buick GMC. Snag a jolly good deal on a new set of wheels. Our gift to you, an exceptional experience with our friendly staff, top-notch service, and prices that will bring you comfort and joy. Indulge in luxury in a Buick Enclave starting at just $43,804. Dashing through the snow is a breeze in our rugged and capable GMC Sierras. We will not be undersold. Hurry into Luther Family Buick GMC, corner of I-29 and 32nd Avenue South. We are professional grade.
With Jiffy Lube Multicare, it's our job to make car care make sense. With personalized service reviews that swap the car talk for straight talk, so you know what your car is telling you and what to do about it. Where highly trained service technicians have your back, helping you take care of the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. Plus a full range of services from Pennzoil oil changes to tires, brakes, batteries, and more. We've got what your car needs, so you're ready for whatever's next. Putting you in the driver's seat of car care, that's a job for Jiffy.
Jiffy Lube, 620 Dakota Avenue, Wapaton.
Ready to upgrade your future in just 2 short years? With over 90 high-demand career pathways, North Dakota State College of Science empowers you to dive straight from college to your career. And guess what?
I'm attending tuition free.
Many of our students are getting a quality education without the student debt hangover.
In Wapaton, Fargo, or online.
NDSCS delivers great campus life, sports, esports, and performing arts. So why wait? Schedule a campus visit today. NDSCS, the smarter way to college.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And thank you for being a part of our afternoon here on Weather and Ag in Focus. We have with us Zach and Bill there with ND Soy Processors in Castleton, North Dakota. And gentlemen, okay, I have been getting messages from listeners who have lots of questions for you. So here we go. First things first. When will you start posting bids is a listener comment. Any information you've got there for folks?
Yeah, so we're working on that right now. Hopefully it will be any day, hopefully by the end of the month. So,
got a couple things at the corporate level they're working out too before we can officially post. So we was hoping to have them by now, but it should be any day now.
Today could have been the big announcement, you guys.
We were hoping for that. Yeah, I was pushing for that, but it didn't quite work out. We'll be close.
All right, awesome. All right, next ones I've been asked to bring up to you. Will you pay premium for 11% moisture? And can you explain why not, et cetera?
So we typically buy beans at 13%. That's what all the elevators around are buying at. Through the process of processing beans, we dry them down, and I think that's where the question's coming from, because we dry them down further. So yeah, if they're all wet, then we may pay a premium for dry beans. But typically here we really don't. It's more just normal what other elevators are paying.
Okay. Next question. Do you discount split or cracked beans?
So we'll have a discount schedule that's fairly similar to other elevators, but we won't discount splits very much. It's a very minor discount, and definitely we'll have up to 20% splits with no discount.
So does that make a difference in your processing if you have a higher volume of splits versus whole beans?
We're going to split them down ourselves when we process them. So kind of already got that step cut out. FM's a problem for us, but splits are not.
Gotcha. Okay, that's kind of where I was leading with that, is knowing you're here to crush. So it's not necessarily the concern that someone might think.
Great.
Got it. All right. Okay. What if we're sending in truckers to drop off beans, but they're speeding, loud, jake brakes within city limits, etc.? Is there a way for you guys to sort that out? Maybe point out to truckers, the rules of the road, so to speak, if they're hauling to you? Does that impact you at all?
Yeah, we definitely want to be a good neighbor. So if truckers are causing problems, then we're going to have that conversation with our trucks or everybody that's hauling to us or hauling from us, and try to mitigate for the community the best we can.
We could also talk to the sheriff and get him involved too if it's a big problem.
But overall, if I remember right from some of your first meetings, you're spinning people through there pretty fast. I mean, your unload capabilities are strong and your storage capacity. Do you want to speak to that at all?
Yeah, so we'll be able to rated capacity for dumping bean trucks is going to be at 50,000 bushels an hour. So we'll be able to churn trucks in and out of there. They shouldn't be sitting in line or out on the road at all. We have a massive truck staging area. I think we can stage 80 trucks on the lot in the staging area, and then
and most of the traffic will come in on 36th Street, so they should not be going through Castleton, and like I said, majority of the traffic won't go through there.
Sure. And when you said that, Zach, about 50,000 bushels per hour that you can dump, can we put that in perspective for folks who don't farm? How many semis would we be dropping in that amount of time?
Yeah, just say about.
Any idea?
Just say close to 50. Yep.
Okay. I figured that was a good round rule of thumb, but I do have folks that they're not farming, so they're like, well, how many trucks is that? So we do truck math too. And one more that I've had sent in to me so far. Do you have a farmer advisory committee, and how does that work?
So we don't really have a farmer advisory committee, but we appreciate any and all feedback that anybody gives us. So that's kind of our jobs, being in the farm community, talking to farmers every day, and making a plan that works for everybody to provide appropriate customer service, because we want to be convenient and easy to do business with, and we need to be to originate the volume of beans that we're going to have to.
Right. And I got a couple on the contract side again. When you offer these contracts for people to get involved to bring their beans to you, what size of contracts are you going to be doing? Is this going to be something that only the large operations are going to be able to fulfill, or are you going to have small contracts, large contracts, kind of you call it, what do you think you can make, and we'll sign something up for that? What does that look like?
Yeah, great question. We'll do any contract size. If your son's farming and he's got 50 bushels of beans that he wants to contract, by golly, I'll write him a contract. So we're very flexible there, and I wrote contracts all the way up to 1 million bushels.
So and we contract bushels.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So a farmer may do 100 bushels this week, 100 bushels next week. Kind of average it out.
Sure.
Some people want to do it all at one time. May sell 10,000 bushels at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we do all kinds of contract size.
And then what happens, because sometimes weather isn't a very good play along friend when it comes to farming. What happens if you write a contract up and you're falling short on that because of weather implications, or say a road magically popped up in your field and you lost half of that? What happens on your guys' side when those contracts can't be fulfilled, or you're just falling short of it?
Yeah, that's a very case by case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just go to kind of just like a normal situation, or I wouldn't say normal because it's not normal, but if you say you sold beans at $1, and if you sold grain and then you have to buy it back, and the market's at $2, then it would be kind of $1 a bushel differential there.
Mm-hmm.
That you sold it, well, you have to buy it back now because you don't have it. Vice versa, if you sold it at $1 and the market's worth a penny, then you're kind of 99 cents in the money. So it's a very case by case scenario.
Yeah, if it's a crop failure, we'll work with a guy
to
work out that shortfall.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Now, I know that as a crush plant, your primary product and focus is going to be the oil that leaves, but there's a meal that's left behind as well, right? So where does that go? Do we have an interest from livestock producers who might want that as feed?
There's not a lot of livestock producers in North Dakota, so that's something that we're definitely want to promote and encourage, and was excited to see the North Dakota Department of Agriculture advertising for livestock expansion. But we'll export a lot of our meal. So out of a bushel of beans, 75% of that bean is soybean meal, And so that's going to be the big part of the product we're going to have to find a home for. So the PNW off the West Coast is where a lot of it will go. We'll also ship some to Canada. We'll ship some to California, some to Mexico, Texas, and then back into Minnesota. There's a fair amount of livestock in Minnesota and South Dakota. So it kind of go all different directions.
So is it fair to say that you're looking for somebody to sell the oil to, but you're also looking for others who might want to take that meal?
Oh, yeah. We need both.
Okay.
The renewable fuels market has really driven the expansion in the crush. And so getting rid of the oil is somewhat the easier side of the equation. But you also got to get rid of the meal. And then we also have soy hull pellets, which are really high in fiber and go into the cattle market. But that's only about 5% that we got to find those. And hopefully we'll be able to sell that in some truck markets in North Dakota to the cattle people.
I want to jump in on the operational sides of the crush plant. We've only got we could run up to about another 5 minutes or so if we need to. But how do you take the bean? How do you crush it down and get oil out of the soybean? What's that process look like?
Yeah, so the beans kind of start out. You want to take the FM out of them. Then you got to get them to the proper moisture, proper temperature, and the whole system it's very finicky. So you gotta be on your game to make sure you're doing it right. And then you're gonna crack them. So you're gonna precisely crack them. You're gonna quarter them. So split them down into quarters. You're gonna run them through a flaker, and you're gonna flake them kind of like 3 sheets of paper thick.
Okay.
And then you're gonna run them through an extractor, a solvent extractor, and that gets the oil and solvent out. So then you have your oil, and then you have your spent flakes. And then you're gonna run your flakes through a system that gets the solvent out of the flakes, and then dries it and cools it. Then you're going to run that through a hammer mill. That's going to be your meal. Before you ran through the process, you took the hulls off the bean, and then the hulls go to the hull grinder and get made into soybean hull pellets. And then the oil goes through the oil solvent mix, goes through 3 stages of, and we reclaim the solvent out of it and recycle the solvent. And then we end up with pure oil, pure crude soybean oil, and it goes into our on-site refinery, made into RB. And RBD oil. RB oil is, primarily industrial use.
So refined, bleach, and deodorized is what that stands for.
Okay.
And sometimes they call it salad oil is a generic term for the finished oil product. So all told, it takes about 2 to 2.5 hours for that bean once it first enters in to when the finished product comes out on the back end.
Oh, wow. So from when the bean starts to when you got the oil in a little dripper or whatever it's going into, your tanks, your reservoirs, that's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. And compared to other crush plants, I mean, I'm sure technology has come a long ways. I don't know what other ones if 2.5 hours is a standard time. Is that pretty quick, or is that kind of on par with what other crush plants are doing?
It's pretty standard.
Okay.
So you can't really speed the process up. You can just increase the volume that you're processing in that 2 hours.
So the other thing that will have an advantage over some of the older plants is the efficiency. There's a lot of heat exchangers that have been added, and efficiency in the equipment that will help us be more competitive in that sense.
Oh, cool. Well, if someone's listening, they want to get a little more information about this. Maybe they want to look into possibly seeing what contracts are available when they're come around next year. Where could they go to get that information or ask any questions?
Yeah, indiesoy.com or call us at 701-895-1010. We're setting up farm accounts right now. Trying to get everybody set up and ready to contract with us because we're going to need a lot of beans.
Well, if we start up late summer, we're going to need some old crop beans to start up with. And so where our hopes are, it's not set, but hopes are is to start dumping in July.
Well, we got about
Justin, take care of that.
We got about 820 bushel beans, I think, somewhere in a silo somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I've been told it's out there somewhere. So maybe we can be your first customer.
Hey, we can work on that. I think we got somebody who's already committed to that. He may be our second customer.
We can be number 2. That's all right. Well, guys, thanks very much for jumping in here, asking some of our questions. I know a lot of our listeners had some questions that they wanted answered, so thanks for taking time out of your day to get those answered.
Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity to be here and kind of get our story out there and let people know who we are.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I'm sure we'll ask you to come back on at some point in 2024.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. When we come back, we got another check on the forecast, and we got 2 more ag topics. And any questions you may have, emails to the program, weather or ag at flagfamily.com, as well as the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000.
Hey, did you hear? Santa needs new boots this Christmas.
Oh no, if Santa doesn't get new boots, there'll be no Christmas.
Fear not, little ones. Santa won't be slipping down the chimney in worn-out boots this year. Hi, Teresa here from the Fargo Red Wing Shoe Store. We've got the perfect fit for Santa's big night. Comfort, durability, and style. Because even Santa deserves to strut his stuff. So worry not, kiddos. Christmas is back on track. All thanks to the Fargo Red Wing Shoe Store. Come on down and help us keep the magic alive.
In the wonders of the holiday season, may you find peace, hope, and joy. That is the wish that West Funeral Home sends this holiday season. At West Funeral Home and Life Tribute Center, it is our commitment to family and community, along with the little things that make the difference. From our home to yours, cherish the memories and celebrate the season. Merry Christmas from the staff at West Funeral Home and Life Tribute Center. Visit us online at westfuneralhome.com.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Light up the season by treating yourself to a new vehicle at Pucklich and Valley City. Choose from our wide selection of over 100 new Chevys available with special end-of-year savings. That means save nearly $8,200 on select new 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500s. As we wrap up the year, we would like to thank our loyal community as you have made our success possible. Merry Christmas from everyone at Pucklich Chevrolet GMC in Valley City. See dealer for details.
Do you realize you pay thousands of dollars a year in insurance and don't know or understand what you're even paying for? Hi, this is DJ Coulter, your local American Family Insurance agent. Through the years, we've helped many families see what an unbelievable asset their correct coverage can be in the time of tragedy. Whether dealing with fires, floods, car accidents, and even early deaths, I've seen it all. I would love the opportunity to sit down with you and help your family. I'm here to help you understand, plan, and protect your future and dreams. Find us at djcoulter.com or check out our Facebook page.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. It's 1:53 on this Thursday afternoon, and temperatures outside are in the mid and upper 40s out there. It's turning out to just be an absolutely beautiful day. We got another rundown on that forecast coming up here in just a bit. Bridgette, that was a fun little conversation. I learned a lot about what was going on over there.
So, we've heard the discussions about soybean crush plants and more of them in our region.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to know where they're at in the construction project, how they fit into the region, why we have them, and then not only the fact that they're going to produce the oil, but now they have the meal. And can that help us drive some larger animal agriculture opportunities? it very possibly could, because now we have that food stuff source that could be used. So it's kind of nice to know how the progression is of some of these processing plants. Not everybody agrees with the things that happen, but we do see more progress being made in industry here across the state.
Yeah, definitely. And we got a couple ag topics we're going to get to here. Why don't we just hit on that the Cattlemen's Convention, the annual one over in Minnesota, Bridgette?
So I'll be there tomorrow. That'll be in Alexandria, Minnesota. And this will be a gathering of their Minnesota cattlemen talking about their legislative updates. But also there'll be some folks there discussing marketing. There's some pretty big swings in the cattle market, ups, downs these days. And how can cattlemen protect themselves against that? Try to balance out some of those vicious swings so you don't feel like you're always on a giant roller coaster with it. There'll be discussions about the feeder cattle and, of course, overall health, whether it's feed, veterinarian supplies, all that type of thing. So I look forward to visiting with a number of folks and asking questions about how things are on their operation. How's this winter going for you, considering what the weather's been like? I think it's a lot easier to feed cattle in this type of situation than what we've had in the past.
Oh, I completely agree. It's just been beautiful, and that'll lead right into the forecast, I suppose. Let's just knock that out of the way. What we're looking at right now, where do you think the warmest spot in North Dakota is, Bridgette?
Mandan, North Dakota.
Mandan, North Dakota. No, it's actually down just south of Wahpeton near Sonora. I say that right?
Oh, really?
Is it Sonora?
There's not really a town down there, but there used to be, so that's what you're seeing.
Oh, yeah, 55 south of Wahpeton. It's about 48 degrees here in Fargo, 48 degrees over in Moorhead, 49 in Sabin. Looks like we got 43 degrees out by Castleton. Northern Valley, a little cooler, 36 in Grand Forks, about 39 in the Devil's Lake area, 36 in Grafton. Regardless, it's a pretty beautiful day out there for the middle of December. And we're shooting for highs near 50 today here in Fargo. Lots of sunshine. Southwest winds about 10 to 25 miles an hour. Tonight, the winds will lighten up. Clouds roll in. Could see an isolated sprinkle or two. Otherwise, we'll watch for areas of some fog to develop with a low in the low 30s. And warm back close to 40 degrees on Friday. Tomorrow will be pretty cloudy. A little breezy at times as well, with some gusts to about 25 miles an hour. Generally a sustained wind about 10 to 15. And there'll be a few scattered rain showers as well that may mix in with a little bit of light snow as we head into the evening and then turn over to snow overnight Friday as it tracks to our south and southeast. Doesn't look like a big deal, but some minor slushy accumulations on the roads. Grassy surfaces may see a little minor accumulation, and there'll likely be a few slick spots here or there for Saturday morning. The rest of the weekend looks pretty nice, mid-30s over the weekend, more clouds on Saturday, more sun on Sunday. And then Monday and next week is our coldest in the mid to upper 20s before we're back in the 30s to a couple days, possibly poking again in the low 40s Tuesday through Saturday of next week. So looking pretty nice.
I like to hear that. Let the good times roll with good weather.
Yes,
that's great.
Indeed. And we got one more ag topic here before we wrap up the show for today, and that's calf decks record keepers are going mobile.
Well, so this is a record-keeping system that probably hasn't been as easily used in the past. It's now ready to go on both Apple and Android. It is provided by the Kansas State University. And some reasons for using this. First of all, when it comes to calving records, whether it's weaning rates, birth dates, matching up, your calves with their mama cows, that type of thing, is important. This allows you to keep that data long-term over a couple of years, so you don't, or a number of years actually, so you don't lose it. It is indeed free, and you can add information into it even if you don't have cell phone service, and then it will upload itself later. So you don't have to worry about losing that piece of paper that you wrote things on. The free part is super helpful, especially if you're a 4-H or an FFA member who's just getting started with your livestock enterprise. Here's a great opportunity for you to be a part of that. Thank you for joining us. We are about to head out for the day. We'll be back tomorrow, and the Jay Thomas Show is next.